Good day, everyone. So we're now on the lesson number 2 for finals, which is the floor exercise for gymnastics. So this is a continuation of the topic that we have for lesson 1, which is the introduction to gymnastics. So we're not talking about the floor exercise here, including the women's, the men's, the rhythmic, the aerobic, and your acrobatic gymnastics, which we have here is 5 events. Then later on, we're going to watch some of the videos or examples that includes or portrays that 5 events in gymnastics. So first up that we have here is the floor exercise. Anyway, this is only a description. Last topic, which is lesson number 1 for introduction to gymnastic. I already explained to you the difference for the floor exercise for men and for women. For a gymnastic event in which movements are performed on the floor in an area of 12 meters or what you call a 40 feet square, and this area is covered by some type of cloth or mat and usually with some cushioning, and no other apparatus is used. So in terms of the floor exercise, we have 5 categories under that, but later on I'm going to discuss that. In terms of the apparatus or in terms of the exact material that was used, it is a foam cushion material wherein yung iba nilalagyan din ng spring dun sa baba para magkaroon ng bouncing effect kapag lumulundag, and when a player or a dancer is performing such skills just like the aerial skills including the jumps and splits na kinakailangan when it comes to the execution of that performance. For men's routines, they are up to 50 to 70 seconds in durations, and they are more focused on the flexibility side, the strength for the jumps, the holding of poses, the balance, as well as other maneuvers. In terms of the uh, women's routine, so sa women's naman, they can last for 70 to 90 seconds. So mas matagal ang presentation ng mga babae, they can last up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And while for men, they can only exceed for 70 seconds or 1 minute and 10 seconds of their performances. The whole routine must be performed with rhythm and harmony, and the gymnast must use or must move in different directions using a major portions of the allotted area. Dahil nga sa sobrang laki na ang area natin when it comes to the 40 feet square or 12 meters of the mat, you need to properly execute and you need to maximize all the spaces na meron sa isang floor exercise. Depende yan kung anong event. Meron tayong tinatawag na solo, we also have the duo, the trio, or a group. So in terms of a solo routine, at mag-isa mo doon and your height is a 4 flat o kaya mas maliit pa o mas mababa pa, kailangan mong extend lahat ng movements mo. Hindi puwedeng pigil ang development ng movement when it comes to gymnastics. Kailangan dapat pointed lahat, also stretchy, or it comes to the movements or being graceful sa mga performance, kailangan mas mataas yung level nun when it comes to a group or trio. Sa trio kasi o sa example sa duo, even for a group, you need to maintain the same energy with all of your teammates. Pero sa solo naman, dahil mag-isa mo nga lang, um, you have that capability or you have that area wherein pwede mong laruin or pwede mong dagdagan yung mga hindi mo nagawa during your practice na naisip mo lang na puwedeng gawin during your final performance. Kasi wala namang magsasabi na mali yung pinerform mo kasi wala namang, um, pagkokomparahan nung mismong movements kasi you are only the performer in terms of the solo routine. So the exercise usually starts and finishes with a series of tumbling movements such as the handspring or cartwheel with a half turn, or meron din tayong tinatawag na handsprings and somersaults. Ang ang ibig sabihin ng somersaults ay any activities or any skills that is related or performed into the air. So mga aerial skills ang tawag natin doon. Wherein lahat ng mga eagle jump, crouch jump, ayan, nandun sa module na sinend ko sa inyo sa GC natin. Nandun lahat yon. The name is floor skill stance. Nasa last part siya. So it also includes some of the series of the jumps that was also included in the performance or performing of this activity. Next, on the Between the start and finish, balances are held on one leg. Handstands are achieved by placing the hands on the floor and kicking to a standing position and movement, resembling the ballet. The tumbling movements and jumps are interposed. Nasama dito yung ballet na other genre of dance. It is because they have the same nature or they have the same movements na ginagamit din sa gymnastics. As you have noticed, pagdating sa gymnastics, number 2 sa cheer dance, number 3 sa ballet, ayan. And number 4, pwede rin natin ipasok ang contemporary at lyrical dance. They have the same features. Malinis sila tignan o they have the sharp movements and the gracefulness na kinakailangan sa isang team. So para silang magpipinsan because um, they have the same features na magkakapareho sila and then meron din naman yung different features na that would also give them the spotlight na when it comes to the movements of cheer dance, they're more of the sharp movements. When it comes to the ballet movements, it's more of the toes movements. Okay, next part we have here is the word gymnasium. So pagdating sa word na gymnasium, ang tawag natin ngayon doon ay yung mga wherein it is a building or a place na ginagamit during a presentation or during an activity sa isang school event. So it made of a stage sa gitna o sa mismong harap. Tapos meron tayong court for basketball. We also have a court for the badminton or table tennis inside of the gymnasium. At they also have the benches o yung mga upuan on both of the side of the gymnasium. Pero noon, ang gymnasium na tinatawag nila is a form of a school. So, para siyang general term ng word na school. Okay? Kasi ngayon, ang word na gymnasium ay referring to a building. Okay? Specific na siya ngayon. Pero before, naka-general term na siya. Pag sinabing gymnasium, it is a school for a naked. So the gymnasium was a school for naked exercise, and the gymnasiums were great of significance. To the ancient Greeks and very important city had at least one, and usually built by the state, and this grew from more gathering places where exercises were performed in imposing structures while dressings or with dressing rooms, the baths, the training quarters, and special areas for contests. So nandun na lahat yung kailangan ng isang um, estudyante natin na mag-enroll sa gymnasium o sa word na gymnasium. So, hindi na sa parang ang tawag natin ngayon doon ay naka-in-house sila. So, nandun lang sila sa loob ng compound wherein nandun na lahat ng kailangan nila including yung kanilang paliguan, they also have the dressing rooms, pagpapalitan ng damit, training quarters of course. That is very important kasi dun ang paghahasa ng talento o ng skills ng isang estudyante para siyang classroom. Okay? And then they also have the special areas for contests. It also includes here, balikan na natin mamaya. Meron din silang mga physical education, building, and then music class. Okay, so parang um, overall or what you call this one, full ang development ng isang estudyante before sa isang gymnasium. They also have what you call the public libraries. Okay, meron silang mga um, libraries that is inside of the vicinity of what they call gymnasium or gymnation. Bakit sir may library sila, eh, ang development lang naman nila it's more of the physical aspect, okay? Do'n tayo nagkakamali. Because in terms of the word gymnasti, okay, gymnasti were the teachers, it refers to a teachers or instructor or puwede ring coaches. And the Greek gymnasiums also held lectures and discussions on philosophy and literature. So in terms of the development nung bata, they are not only focused on the one side which is the physical aspect do sa pagta-train sa mga um, physical aspect ng bata o dun sa mismong skills na kailangan ng bata to go with their performances or their competition. Kailangan din i-train yung bata sa mismong cognitive level. Pag sinabi natin cognitive level, that is a mental process, okay, sa utak. Hindi lang dapat malakas, dapat may talino rin yung bata. Kasi when you're talking about the physical aspect, pwede kasi yan pantayan. Okay? For example, si Juan and si Pedro, they have the same height, they have the same level of energy, they have the same reach. O pag sinabing reach, yung haba ng kamay. They also have the same features wherein bato-bato si Pedro, gano'n din si Juan. So nagkakatalo na lang sa strategies or sa techniques na pwedeng gamitin ni Pedro laban kay Juan o kay Juan laban kay Pedro. So it's more of the cognitive or mental process. Ano yung tactics mo, ano yung techniques mo para matalo yung kalaban. So dun nag-iiba ang call this one, ang track o yung event na nangyayari pagdating sa isang competition. Lalo na't kung pantay-pantay ng um, features pagdating sa physical aspect o sa katawan, doon lang magkakatalo. We also have what you call is your turn verane. Ang turn verane is specific or designated site for physical exercise. Ang tawag natin ngayon sa turn verane ay yung stage o yung nasa harapan ng mismong gymnasium. And then after that, after the word gymnation or gymnasium, we're going to move into the late 20th century, which we have here is the health club or fitness center. So ngayon, ang health club or fitness center, they are the establishment wherein kung gusto mong magpapayat o gusto mong magpataba, they have the different programs na pwedeng ibigay sa'yo, i-offer sa inyo. For example, when you're going to enroll to a health club or fitness center, itatanong muna nila or they're going to evaluate you kung ano yung gusto mong baguhin sa katawan. Kung gusto mo bang magpapayat, gusto mo bang magpalaki ng or magpatigas ng abdominal muscle, o gusto mong magpataba. So they have the different kinds of programs wherein, for example, on day number 1, ang gusto mong baguhin ay gusto mong paliitin o panipisan yung braso mo kasi mas malaki na siya compared sa mismong bewang mo, mga ganyan. So kidding aside, in terms of that one, they're going to send you or to show you some programs including example sa day number 1. Sa day number 1, it's more of the arm movements or arm development or arm exercises, kung ano pang tawag dyan. And then they also going to give you meal kung kasama dun sa program na kailangan kumain ka ng ganito na 20% of your food should be protein, 30% should be carbohydrates, ganyan. So depende. Iba't iba kasi ang katawan ng tao, iba't ibang pangangailangan yan. So para siyang, if we're going to compare that one into a medical procedure, okay, example liposuction, ganyan, gusto magpatangos ng ilong, magkakaiba. So they have the same features with that one. Kaya lang when it comes to the objectives or when it comes to the um, wants or needs of a person, dun lang nagkakatalo. Yung iba gusto magpapayat, yung iba gustong magpataba. So, depende yan. Case-to-case basis tayo pagdating sa mga um, body wishes nila or body dream nila na gustong ma-achieve pagdating sa kanilang katawan. Next, what we have here is the word calisthenics. So calisthenics is defined as a exercise that doesn't require any apparatus or any special equipments to be utilized or to use when it comes to a performance. Kaya ang nakalagay dyan, example natin ay mga push-up, sit-ups, and chin-ups. Those are the movements or skills or activities na pwedeng gamitin or pwedeng gawin, lalo't kung wala ka namang apparatus or equipments na available in your area. It also includes here the bending, stretching, twisting, swinging, kicking, and jumping. This ing activities or skills ay kasama din or pasok sa tinatawag nating locomotor and non-locomotor movement. So back before in your high school or even for senior high school years, um, pinapag-aralan nyo na ang locomotor and non-locomotor movements. Next that we have here is your calisthenics, promoting the strength, endurance, flexibility, and coordination and augments of the body's general welfare or well-being by placing controllable or regular demands upon the cardiovascular system. We also have here Miss Catherine Beach here. So she was an early advocate of calisthenics and she wrote the book Physiology and Calisthenics for Schools and Families. This book, written in 1857 or published in 1857, is only intended for women. Okay, sabi dyan, calisthenics were intended solely for women, but they quickly became an activity for both of the sexes. So, ginawa yan ni Catherine Beecher because she wants also some students na nagkaroon ng activities, even calisthenics one, pagdating sa bahay nila. Kasi even uh, they have that activities na ginagawa pagdating sa mga school, okay? Pang mga school days or weekdays nila, kailangan pa rin may activities pa rin dun sa bahay nila. That's why they include the families. Okay? Kasi dun most likely nade-develop ang bata bago siya pumunta sa school. They also use the calisthenics as a form or a part of military training before kasi nga pag pupunta ka sa giyera, hindi mo na kailangang bumili o kailangan magdala ng barbells. Ang kailangan mong dalhin ay baril o kaya mga gamitan sa war. So in terms of doing such calisthenics activities or such activities before, they choose to form or to use a calisthenics one wherein hindi mo kailangan ng gamit na nabibili sa mga gym establishment kung may nakita kang call this one, bamboo pole tapos meron kang nakitang dalawang timba, ilagay mo yung dalawang timba sa both ends of that bamboo pole tapos you can use that one as a form of a barbells. So, ganun ang calisthenics. So now we go with the types of gymnastics for exercises. So tapos na 'to from lesson number 1. For women's artistic, 70 to 90 seconds. For men's artistic, they can last for 1 minute and 10 seconds. So rhythmic naman, ito yung sa lesson number 1, we're talking about the hoops, the balls, the ropes, the clubs, and the ribbon. So in this type of events for rhythmic gymnastic, it is only intended for women. Okay, sila lang may karapatan na gumamit ng iba't ibang apparatus from rope down to ribbon, and it can last for 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're now with the last two events, which is the acrobatic and aerobic. Dito tayo mag-focus kasi hindi ko pa na-explain. Sa acrobatic gymnastic, literal na acrobatic style o para siyang pangperya o parang Cirque du Soleil yung mismong team wherein kailangan magpatong-patong yung example, duo or trio na members in terms of the acrobatic styles. So it also caters for men, pwede rin siya sa mga lalaki or pwede rin siya sa babae. So both of the sexes are includes or um, valid in terms of doing the acrobatic gymnastics. Next one that we have here is your aerobic gymnastic. The difference between aerobic gymnastic among the four events that we have here, including acrobatic, rhythmic, men's, and women's artistic, is that for aerobic gymnastic, kailangan nilang magsuot ng sapatos. Okay? It's a form of exercise routine na kailangang uh, lively yung performance. Hindi pwedeng babagot-bagot o hindi pwedeng matamlay yung movements mo when it comes to aerobic gymnastic because pag sinabing aerobic, you need to form an exercise na lively performance wherein kailangan ma-boost yung confidence o ma-boost yung aura ng mismong audience mo na masaya yung pina-perform mo. Hindi siya pwedeng parang um, rhythmic gymnastic na may pa-emote kang ginagawa. So, it's more of the lively side or lively performance when it comes to aerobic gymnastic. So, we're done with lesson number 2. We're going to watch some of the videos for the last two event, which is the acrobatic and your aerobic gymnastics. But let's take first your aerobic gymnastic. Okay, now let's go with your acrobatic gymnastics.
Welcome to Lake Buena Vista, Orlando, host to the 23rd. To get into this final, Annalise Olsen, Ingrid Dunkley and Melanie Byrne, they qualified in 7th. They did a very good combined exercise there, 27.325, that was their strongest. So good chance to get into the top 6. Lovely double straight. Pike 1.5 into basket. To and from basket, that's where the two create a sling for the gymnast to work from and to. They have to be briskly in and out of these balance positions. It's all about keeping the rhythm of the music, and the choreography suffers if you're too long or too short in a position. Australia going well at the moment. Again, it's not so difficult. That's no bad thing, because the other two marks are artistry and execution, and they're working pretty well in those sections. Very nice double pike. Counterbalance, very effective there. Tuck. Final flourish. Well done, Australia.
Okay, so that's the end of topic number 2 for floor exercise.